What happened? What happened? She gonna talk to me. She acting like I did something mean to her.
You better stop, mother.
A rare way of communicating, but I don't talk to people disrespectful. If I'm talking in a high-pitched voice, it's not like I'm calling
no, I know him.
It's not like I'm calling
That's just him.
But you can't keep giving people that's just him because it's still disrespectful.
How long y'all been together?
But it don't matter. It's still disrespectful.
He ain't changed from day one. He's been this way.
No, Dejan is a little bit more disrespectful than what he was.
No, I was explaining to her that I don't act like a relationship to her anymore. Like, I just act how as if I would act towards, regular, like not regular, but like normal. Mm-hmm. It's an affectionate you, it's a relationship you, it's a lovable you, and then it's like regular.
But that's not even the craziest.
I see mother Halo walking in the room with my brother Stream. My mama is coming to bring that there. My mama is the reason why we get our motherfucking kids. I don't talk to my goddamn baby mama. My mom is the reason why me and my brother get our kids. We go through my goddamn mama. My mom is nice as hell. This could be my mama cup. Chino could come and slap the cup out her hand. She gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna get into the cup. My mom is the nicest person in the world. The fuck?
Halle Bailey might be America's sweetheart, but according to DDG's mom, that innocent image is a well-rehearsed act. In a jaw-dropping turn of events, Tanya, DDG's fiery mother, just broke her silence and unleashed a tidal wave of allegations that's got the internet gasping. After Halle hinted that DDG's family played a role in their messy breakup, Tanya came out swinging with cryptic posts, court declarations, and alleged receipts of her own. And what started as a subtle clapback has now erupted into a full-blown family feud, dragging everyone from baby mamas to brothers into the drama. But the most shocking twist? Tanya claims Halle has been lying, manipulating, and even stalking DDG to control the narrative. So what's really going on behind the scenes? And who's telling the truth? Let's break it all the way down. Halle Bailey has spent the last few months trying to convince the world that everything is fine, that she's happy, that she's in control, that the whispers, the rumors, the growing tension between her and DDG are all just noise. With carefully curated Instagram posts, vague tweets about peace and healing, and a baby boy kept mostly out of sight, Halle's strategy was clear. Stay quiet, stay pretty, and protect the brand. But behind the scenes, that glossy Disney princess image is cracking. And the person swinging the hammer? Halle's own mother. Because Tanya Bailey has had enough. Enough silence. Enough manipulation. Enough watching her daughter twist herself into knots trying to protect someone who, according to insiders, has done nothing but exploit her vulnerability. Tanya isn't a public figure. She's not a celebrity. But she is a mother, and when a mother senses danger circling her child, she doesn't sit back and wait. She goes on the attack. This isn't just another messy celebrity breakup. This is war. And it's not just between Halle and DDG. It's now a full-blown showdown between America's sweetheart and the protective mama bear who refuses to let her child be played. Tanya has entered the chat, and she's coming with receipts, court documents, surveillance claims, and an allegation that has people stunned, that DDG may have used an AirTag to track Halle and her baby's location. Let that sink in. A hidden AirTag, allegedly planted inside a diaper bag. If true, this takes the drama to a dangerous new level. It's not just about custody anymore. It's about safety. It's about control. And most of all, it's about truth. Tanya's stepping in because she watched Halle try to control the narrative, try to play it clean, try to protect a man who, according to court whispers, might be playing dirty behind closed doors. And now, with the court filings circulating quietly among insiders, it looks like the truth is clawing its way to the surface, whether Halle's ready or not. So forget the princess fairy tale. This isn't the Little Mermaid anymore. This is the Mama Bear Strikes Back. And Tanya Bailey is ready to burn the whole fantasy down if it means keeping her daughter and her grandson safe. To understand the storm brewing between Halle Bailey, DDG, and now her mother Tanya Bailey, you have to rewind. Because before this turned into a full-blown family war, before the court filings, the AirTag allegations, and Tanya's Mama Bear moment. There were subtle shots being fired, and they were coming straight from Halle herself. Not on social media, not in interviews, but buried deep in court documents that, at first glance, looked tame until you read between the lines. Because Halle didn't come out swinging. Not at first. She played it like a professional, controlled, composed, with that same soft-spoken image the world knows her for. But the truth was in the details, and those details were damning. The court documents revealed Halle wasn't just fighting for custody. She was building a case, a quiet but powerful narrative of emotional neglect and absence. And she didn't need to scream it. She just laid it out like facts. She described feeling alone throughout her pregnancy. Not metaphorically, literally. Claims were made that DDG wasn't around, that he was emotionally unavailable, disinterested, and barely showed up as her partner, let alone as soon-to-be father. And when he did show up, Halle alleged he brought stress, not support, drama, not love. Then came the moment that made people stop and say, wait, what? A chipped tooth. According to Halle's legal team, there was an incident where DDG's behavior became so volatile, so out of control, that Halle ended up with physical damage. A chipped tooth may sound small, but in court, it's symbolic. It's a red flag, and it hints at something much darker brewing behind closed doors. But it wasn't just about DDG, because buried in the same documents was a shocking twist. Tanya Bailey, Halle's own mother, was allegedly complicit. That's right. Halle quietly suggested, without naming names, but strongly implying, that her mother enabled the dysfunction. That Tanya, instead of stepping in to protect her, may have helped sweep it under the rug. Whether out of denial, fear, or a misguided attempt to keep the peace, Tanya was painted as a silent witness to the chaos. Maybe even a contributor. So what happened between then and now? How did Tanya go from the woman Halle allegedly accused of enabling the toxicity to the fierce protector ready to drag DDG in public? That's the million-dollar question. Because these flashbacks show us one thing. Halle tried to handle it quietly. She tried to preserve the image. She tried to keep everyone's reputation intact, especially her own. But her court filings, however subtle, were a cry for help. They painted a picture of a young woman isolated, exhausted, and emotionally battered during what should have been the happiest time of her life. And now, months later, that cry for help has turned into a battle cry. Tanya may have been silent at first, but she's not silent anymore. And if she's stepping in now, it's because she's realized exactly what her daughter was saying all along. This didn't start with an AirTag. It started with a chipped tooth, with emotional neglect, with absences that spoke louder than words. And now, those quiet courtroom claims are erupting into a very public war. It started with a meme, not a press release, not a video, not even a quote, just a photo. Tanya Bailey, sipping her tea like Kermit the Frog, captionless. But if you know Tanya, you know that wasn't just a meme. That was a warning shot. Because while the internet was still catching up to Halle's quiet digs in court and DDG's spiraling reputation, Tanya decided to make her entrance the way all seasoned matriarchs do, shady, strategic, and just vague enough to keep you guessing. Fans instantly knew it was a shot. But at who? Some thought she was coming for DDG, standing up for her daughter. Others thought, wait a minute, is she calling Halle out? The lines were already blurry. And before Tanya could clarify, Twitter, TikTok, and every black gossip page on Instagram had her trending. At first, she got dragged. Hard. Comments flooded in calling her passive-aggressive, toxic, and too old for this internet beef. People accused her of caring more about clout than her grandchild. And while the post was deleted just hours later, the damage was done. But Tanya wasn't finished. A few days later, she escalated. No more memes. No more ambiguity. This time, it was a direct post, calling out people who try to control the narrative, slamming performative innocence, and warning that the truth will come out. The subtext was loud, but for many, the message was even louder. Tanya wasn't just clapping back. She was picking a side, and shockingly, it wasn't Halle's. Then Halle said, bet, because just when Tanya thought she was about to reclaim the narrative, Halle dropped the receipts. and now viral screenshots allegedly from private texts. Halle exposed something fans weren't ready for. Tanya had been the only one coordinating childcare. Not DDG. Not DDG's mama. Not a team of nannies. Tanya. The messages showed Tanya confirming pickup times, feeding schedules, and baby supplies. Halle asked about drop-offs and pickups, and Tanya replied like a personal assistant. DDG's name? Nowhere. And just like that, the internet flipped again. Halle's camp framed it like this. You're calling me manipulative, ungrateful, and fake? But you were the one running behind the scenes, trying to clean up your son's mess. You were the one keeping his image intact while he posted vlogs, played games, and filmed fake boyfriend tag TikToks like everything was sweet. Tanya wasn't just helping. She was doing damage control. That's when Tanya really lost it. No more memes. No more vague Bible quotes or God will handle it captions. Tanya pulled out the gloves and went off, publicly calling Halle manipulative, ungrateful, and a damn good actress. She claimed Halle had weaponized her tears, was playing victim while controlling everything behind the scenes. Tanya insisted she was being used as a pawn, painted as an enabler when all she ever did was protect her family. But instead of getting sympathy, she got backlash again. Fans were divided. Some people praised Tanya for finally saying what needed to be said, calling Halle a Hollywood narcissist who had everyone fooled. But others clocked Tanya immediately. You're proving her point. You were enabling him. You did all that helping, and now you're bitter you didn't get credit. Suddenly, the once respected Mama Bear was being rebranded as a manipulator in pearls. And then the receipts started coming for her. Clips resurfaced of DDG in one infamous vlog, smacking food out of Tanya's hand like a toddler throwing a tantrum. What did Tanya do? She laughed, played it off like it was cute. Fans pointed out, if that's how he treats his own mother on camera, imagine what he's like behind the scenes. Other baby mamas joined the conversation, some subtly, some directly. They all told the same story. Tanya has always excused her son's behavior. Whether it was DDG ignoring fatherhood duties or Dub, his brother, being emotionally unavailable, Tanya was always there to clean it up, never confront it. And speaking of Dub, he accidentally let something major slip in one of his recent live streams. He said, "We all go through her. It's always mom who keeps the peace between the kids and their mamas." Fans were stunned. Tanya wasn't just a bystander. She was the middleman in every co-parenting situation. The fixer, the filter, the PR team. So now, the image is shifting. Tanya Bailey isn't just a mama bear trying to defend her cub. She's part of a bigger pattern. A matriarch who may have spent years covering up her son's messes, until Halle finally said, "No more." And when Halle said it publicly through court and receipts, Tanya turned. So who's the villain? Who's the victim? And is anyone in this family telling the whole truth? The internet is still trying to decide. Just when you thought it couldn't get messy, Tanya dropped a bomb so wild, so explosive, it stopped the internet cold. Because this wasn't shade. This wasn't a meme. This wasn't even a clapback. This was a legal accusation. Tanya Bailey claimed that Halle Bailey, yes, America's mermaid sweetheart, the Grammy-nominated singer and rising Disney star, was stalking her son using AirTags. That's right. According to court-adjacent whispers and insiders allegedly close to the Bailey family, Tanya filed a formal statement suggesting Halle had planted Apple AirTags in DDG's belongings to monitor his whereabouts without his consent. Let's walk through the timeline. It allegedly started months ago, right after their breakup began to unravel behind closed doors. While fans still thought the couple was solid, insiders now say DDG had quietly moved out of their shared space and was staying in multiple locations, hopping between Airbnbs, hotel rooms, and even his mama's house. But something was off. Everywhere DDG went, Halle knew. Not just vague locations, exact addresses, exact times. And then came the incident that Tanya swears confirmed everything. One night, DDG was spotted out in Beverly Hills, catching a late-night movie with a mystery woman. Paparazzi. Photos show him walking into the theater just after 9 p.m., but what the blogs didn't know is that Halle allegedly showed up less than 30 minutes later. Alone, unannounced, looking furious. According to Tanya, Halle walked straight into the theater, didn't say a word, spotted DDG, turned around, and walked right out. But the damage was done. Tanya claims her son was shaken, not because of the confrontation, but because of the timing. He hadn't posted his location. His phone was on airplane mode. So how did she know? The next day, Tanya says they searched DDG's car, his luggage, his shoes. And allegedly, tucked inside the lining of a baby bag they hadn't used in weeks was an AirTag. The implication? Halle Bailey had allegedly been tracking her ex-boyfriend, and possibly their child, without permission. Tanya took that and ran straight to legal. Insiders say she's pushed for the court to consider the stalking allegations in upcoming custody negotiations. She's framing it as a safety issue, not just for DDG, but for the baby. And while Halle's team has not publicly responded to the AirTag claims, the silence is only fueling speculation. Fans are divided again. Some refuse to believe the sweet, soft-spoken Halle would ever stoop to stalking. But others say, we've seen this before, pointing to how she kept her pregnancy secret, controlled interviews, and allegedly used the press to sway public opinion. Now people are asking, is this another layer of manipulation? Is the girl who played Ariel really capable of going full lifetime stalker mode? Or is this Tanya's final Hail Mary, a desperate attempt to paint her son as the victim and bury her own history of enabling? Either way, the AirTag allegations are a game changer, because now what started as petty back and forth has escalated into potential criminal behavior. The courts are watching, the fans are watching, and both Halle and Tanya are locked in a silent war, where every move is being documented, dissected, and used as ammo. One side has the fame, the other has the fight, and if these allegations hold any weight, this family feud just crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. Just when the line seemed clearly drawn, Disney princess versus delusional mama bear, the story flipped. Because while Halle Bailey started this saga as the quiet, elegant woman scorned, lately, fans are starting to wonder, is she the victim or the villain in disguise? Let's rewind. Halle laid it all out like a diary entry in those court filings. Emotional neglect, chipped baby teeth, late-night arguments, DDG missing milestone after milestone while she allegedly did all the heavy lifting. It was heartbreaking, traumatic, and at first, everyone rallied behind her. She's America's sweetheart, after all. The mermaid who swam through racism, sexism, and industry pressure, and still came out with poise, grace, and a baby on her hip. But Tanya Bailey didn't sit back and let the headlines define her. She came swinging, first with shady memes, then full-throttle accusations. Halle was controlling, manipulative, a two-faced performer who smiled for the camera while privately pulling strings, setting traps, and playing mind games. And now, with the AirTag bombshell still echoing through the court of public opinion, people are looking at this drama through a whole new lens. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Both women are claiming to be the wounded party. Both are insisting they're just trying to protect that baby. And both have receipts. On one side, you have Halle, alleging DDG was emotionally absent, that Tanya enabled him, and that she was left to raise their child in chaos while getting gaslit behind the scenes. On the other, Tanya is telling the world, Halle wasn't some helpless, sweet girlfriend. She allegedly tracked DDG's movements, controlled access to the baby, and only went public after she realized she was losing the narrative. So now the fandom is fractured. Some still ride hard for Halle. They say she's young, postpartum, tried her best, and being dragged through the mud for simply speaking her truth. They argue Tanya's behavior proves Halle's point. The Baileys protect DDG at all costs, even when it hurts the baby. But others are squinting harder at Halle's moves. Why did she wait until things got messy to go legal? Why drop subtle digs in music and interviews instead of confronting things head-on? And if she really felt unsafe, why were there no prior police reports before the custody petition? Then there's the group no one expected, fans now dragging both of them. Because at the end of the day, a child is at the center of this storm. And the public messiness, from cryptic tweets to Instagram lives to leaks in legal filings, feels less like two women protecting a baby and more like a PR war over who gets to control the sympathy. So who's really playing victim? Is Halle using her halo to hide deeper dysfunction? Or is Tanya just a master of spin, weaponizing motherhood to clean up her son's image and deflect from years of coddling toxic behavior? Either way, this isn't just about a breakup anymore. It's about reputation, legacy, and power. The fairy tale is broken. The masks are slipping. And what was once a love story has become a legal thriller, where even the good girl might have secrets darker than we imagined. Just when you think the dust might finally settle, the storm picks up again. Because this custody battle, this public implosion between Halle Bailey and Tanya Bailey, it's far from over. In fact, the messiest parts may still be ahead. Let's start with the calendar, because there are more court dates on the horizon. Sources close to the case say the next few hearings could bring major decisions about custody, visitation rights, and even a possible gag order to shut both sides up for good. That's right, after all the back and forth, the Instagram lives, the subliminals in songs and shady posts, the court may force everyone involved to go silent. But until then, it's a free-for-all. And one name still hasn't spoken, DDG, the man at the center of it all, the father, the influencer, the rapper, the reason this entire saga exists, has been dead quiet. No statements, no apologies, no explanations, just cryptic tweets and flashy videos like nothing's wrong. And fans are asking, is he biding his time for a last-minute spin? Is he letting his mom take the hits so he can walk away clean? Or is he too deep in damage control to even face the music? Meanwhile, behind the scenes, insiders claim both legal teams are preparing to escalate. There's talk of subpoenas, new witnesses, possibly even more text messages and documents that haven't surfaced yet. Because the AirTag allegations, the chip tooth, the parenting shade, that might have only scratched the surface. And here's the real cliffhanger. Was this just the final fight in a toxic love story, or the opening act in a brutal custody war that could span years? Will Halle walk away with full custody and her reputation intact? Will Tanya succeed in flipping the narrative and keeping DDG in the baby's life? Or will more secrets leak? Ones that change how we see everyone involved? One thing's clear. This isn't just a breakup. It's a battle over control, of a child, of a legacy, and of the truth. And the next chapter? It's already being written.